On today's show, St. Nicholas wants to adopt some aspects of New Orleans to transform the city into a vibrant tourist area. Plus, topics in our lifestyle segment includes children having too much salt in their diet. Also, a few words of advice for women on the island to lead in whatever they are doing. 15 on 15 starts right now. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. Today we are delivering 15 on 15 to you straight from downtown Oranjestad. For now, let's get right into your local news. New Orleans is a popular city that attracts plenty of tourists. In 2012, 9 million people visited the area. Tourist spending was clocked in at $6 billion. The Ministry of Tourism, together with ATA and investors, are hoping to transform Aruba's St. Nicholas into an exciting tourist attraction similar to New Orleans. The delegation from Aruba, representing the island's tourism and progressing St. Nicholas developments, took a trip to New Orleans to see how an area of Aruba can be transformed to something like New Orleans. Mark Romich, the CEO of New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation, says the city and St. Nicholas have several aspects in common.
Our story of recovery from Hurricane Katrina and our renaissance, recreating our brand, is something very similar to what I believe the minister and the delegation is working toward with Aruba, particularly St. Nicholas, in developing really a destination around something that perhaps had lay dormant for many years. And so, similar to what is happening in St. Nicholas, we took the New Orleans brand and gave it a shot in the arm, basically. Working with the local community, working with local businesses, showing how we could move together to provide additional jobs and bring visitors back into the city of New Orleans.
Immediate action had to be taken after Hurricane Katrina. One of the key ingredients in building a successful tourism area is to have the people living in it to show it off and brag about the product.
Over the last several years, we've seen dramatic increases in visitation. We have a plan in place. We're spending money on infrastructure. We're improving sidewalks, streets, lighting, security, and most importantly, we're telling our story around the nation and around the world about New Orleans being a very welcoming and hospitable city, very similar to the history that Aruba has as a welcoming and hospitable country and island.
Like New Orleans, St. Nicholas has culture, depth, history, and many stories to tell.
New Orleans is blessed, as is Aruba, with an authentic experience. It has deep history, and we tell that story very easily now because New Orleans represents the melting pot of many cultures, and we think that is a similar story that Aruba can tell with St. Nicholas, with its heritage and history, being able to wrap that into a story about why people should visit that part of the island.
When a new tourist area is built, this adds employment. Once St. Nicholas is developed, there will be more job opportunities. But the CEO of New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation says the attraction must be updated in order to maintain tourist spending.
The New Orleans hospitality industry, we have approximately 78,000 people that work in the hospitality industry, hotels, restaurants, attractions, and it's a big economic driver, as is tourism for Aruba. So it's important for us to pay attention to this and to keep the plan alive, keep the spending moving forward, and keep checking off these very important milestones. As we get more visitors, we get more spending, and we're able to use those dollars that come off of the taxes to build a better infrastructure. And I think that is the opportunity that Aruba has.
On the next show, we will have the managing director of Red Sail Sports, who says he was skeptical to conduct business in St. Nicholas at first, but now realizes that the city could provide endless opportunities. He'll tell you why on the change of mind on the next 15 on 15. For now, switching gears, here is a quick update on the construction for the Lieuw property.
My understanding is clearly they have to finalize exactly how they're going to do the renovation. And now they can get into the building and look at all the details and priorities and establish what has to be done. And I think once that's sorted out, then they'll move ahead very, very quickly. I mean, it's not in anyone's interest to keep it closed for, a long period of time, although they've indicated it's probably going to take a year to completely renovate the building.
And on that note, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Today's lifestyle segment is all about food and eating. A study in the United Kingdom suggests that children's diets contain too much salt. Take a look at this. Children should eat less than a teaspoon of salt a day, but 70% of the kids in a study published showed they consumed much more than this. Breads and cereals alone accounted for more than 1/3 of the salt in children's diets. A fifth came from meat and 1/10 from dairy products. Manufacturers across the globe say they are working on reducing salt in many products, including bread. The authors of the study say efforts must be doubled since salt increases the risk of high blood pressure from a very young age, and high blood pressure can lead to heart disease and stroke. Staying on the topic of eating, chowing down food too fast is not good for you. It takes at least 20 minutes for your body to begin registering fullness, so inhaling your meal makes you prone to overeating and potential weight gain. In today's fast-paced world, it can be tough to pace yourself, so start by promising to carve out a decent amount of time to eat, let's say 20 to 30 minutes, to not just eat, but actually sit down to a meal. There is a reason why previous generations used to make mealtime more formal. It helps you truly take a break and focus on refueling. There is no need to bust out the good silverware and table settings, but you do want to take your food out of its package or carry-out container and set it on a plate, which will make eating more of an event rather than just something you do while you answer your emails or, let's say, play Candy Crush. And staying on the topic of food, there is one simple trick that will help you love healthy foods even more. Artistic arrangement on your plate doesn't just make your meal more attractive, it can trick you into thinking your food tastes better. Watch. Decorative flourishes like sauce drizzled in circles and foods presented in a pattern can actually help you to eat healthier. Researchers discovered when people ate off plates nicely arranged, it was more tasty to them even if they were eating vegetables. Authors of the study believe these findings suggest that serving up food in a more attractive way might boost how much we enjoy healthy ingredients. Do keep this in mind though, the study was done at a fancy restaurant, but there is no reason why you can't try prettying up your dishes at home. You may find it makes you crave good for you foods that you're usually indifferent towards. And on that note, we will take a break. We'll have this coming up next. Welcome back from the break. If you are just joining us now, we are delivering 15 on 15 to you straight from downtown Oranjestad today to enjoy the new Main Street. International Women's Day was over the weekend. To commemorate the day, various NGOs and public sectors asked a few leading women on the island and internationally to inspire and motivate the ladies on Aruba. Sue Morter is the master of bioenergetic medicine. She was one of the guest speakers at the Women's Conference Saturday. Her message to the crowd was clear.
To the Arubian women, yes. So, I would first like to say that these are some of the most potent hearts. They're like hearts on legs. There's so much love in there and so much sincerity that I really would encourage you to bring it out in the world and to speak your truth and to allow yourselves to be heard in your families and in your communities and in your workplace and so on, because that's what the world needs. It's packed in here and we just need to let it out. And there isn't anything missing and there isn't anything broken. It's that we just have to learn that it's okay to reveal ourselves, to put it out there and to step into that in our power.
During Sue's speech, she had the ladies get up on their feet and dance a little. According to her, movement is important in all aspects of life.
We're trying to get our minds to anchor with our hearts, to connect with our heart, and then move the body, because we've moved our bodies so many times in the course of our lives in a state of defense or protectivism, that when we get into this little meditation that we do and then we start to move the body that way, it starts to build some new circuitry. So if someone's in joy and they start going for a walk, or they're in joy and they start just moving their body, it allows the physiology to be updated into, oh, I can do this too, instead of just being clamped down and do the right thing, I want to say the right thing, I don't know what I should do, and so on. It's like, loosen it up.
Monica Parker, a writer, actor, author, and producer, says the world is simply not as accepting as it should be.
I think my story is really about acceptance and helping other people get to that place, no matter whether they're in a wheelchair or whether they're a pole vaulter. We still are all humans, and we struggle with acceptance, self-acceptance, which is really sad.
Monica's message to the women on the island is quick and sweet.
The message for today, it's a short life. Live large, live loud, and have fun.
And there you have it. A little bit of inspiration and motivation never hurts anyone. That is our show for today. Thank you for joining us on location. We will be back here on Wednesday night starting at 7:15 p.m. with a brand new edition of 15 on 15 right here on Channel 15 ATV. So we'll see you then.